As you approach, the man turns and greets you with a polite wave. He appears completely at ease, like a common holidaymaker.
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no? What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast? Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And well, I wished to see the situation. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it? Really? Here? How can you be sure? Ah? Is that what those pockmarks are? I might have guessed. Fascinating how much history is contained right here, if only one knows where to look for it.
Are you just going to let him get away with these generalities and euphemisms?
Yes, the loss of human life was truly catastrophic. This is why the Coalition is so focused on preventing another war. Our peacekeeping mission is... Thankfully, the region is becoming more and more stable. I'm confident that atrocities like this belong in the past. The future is...
Tranquilo, below? Let's not get into this. You can't argue with someone who uses words like tranquilo, below.
Ah bon? I'm all ears, officer. My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists. The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol. It acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then? He's speaking figuratively. He means he's not in Martinez in his official capacity.
Précisément. Officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in. Yes, you've made your persistence quite clear. Under normal circumstances, I would have to insist you go through the regular channels. But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer. Officer, you mean to say that you haven't noticed the giant Coalition aerostatic peacefully patrolling the skies over Revachol?
You follow the man's gaze out toward the west. There, hanging some distance above the horizon, it looks to your eye like some kind of long metallic fish suspended beneath a number of ceiling fans. Not just any fish. It moves like some ancient bottom feeder gliding over the ocean floor. Don't let the paint job fool you. It's a goddamn killing machine, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Isn't it? A triumph of both technical ingenuity and international cooperation. I, for one, feel much safer knowing it's up there watching all of us. You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Revachol. This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on Coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-Coalition use. I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it. Unfortunately not, no. I don't have the pleasure. I am merely a representative of the Coalition government.
Sounds like something that programmer we met in the church might be able to help with.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM. Godspeed, and if we don't meet again...
There's no way the perp is in here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed.
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried.
Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable, but I like the spirit. Have some points. It's lonely and cold without points. And dangerous. Dangerous too. A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters. A code behind this. There's nothing else to do. metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first,
That, over there, must be the boy class you told us about. The one she hid her passport in.
ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt.
Simple construction.
There's something in there, splashing around. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated, a shot glass's worth of seawater pours out, some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. I have no idea. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. This is only a small loose end, but I do wish we knew who took the documents. That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing...
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
The dome-shaped plastic boy bobs up. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head, the other one laughs. Wow, so intellectual. The stone kicking isn't even a very high...
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without a...
Then we're definitely doing it.
Hello, mister. Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom? That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything. Luby. Luby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like, sometimes I can, but then
Kids.
Bye!
Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid, leaning against the wall. Wait, what if this is the fishing rod situation all over again? It's not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron. How disappointing. You were just following your instincts, your destiny. You're meant to find the phasmid. Just maybe not here. As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then a small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and you almost look like a professional. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. Damn that girl.
But you didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear, we welcome all kinds of people here. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right there. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the Lieutenant's Canal drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No.
The truth, sire.
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
Aye, do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter. Like you sometimes get, son. She really believes that.
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do. Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and tech. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy...
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The failed electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Yes, one thing, officer. If you do find her, please...
She really means it.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself.
Tequila sunset. My jacket?
A look of consternation crosses the man's face. He looks...
What the fuck are you talking about, Tequila? Falm? That's medium concept stuff, not my style at all. I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe you should lay off the booze.
It becomes abundantly clear to you how this man managed to lose his keys, business, friends. I'm calling it. It's neurological.
That shit is so medium concept, I wouldn't touch it with a stick. But yeah, okay. I'm sure it looks great on you.
It's an okay jacket, if you are into that look.
Can't really remember seeing...
It's a touchy topic. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
Okay, let's step... I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense. It's, well, a little eclectic, don't you think?
Eclectic is for pop music with indigenous percussion. You're a sartorial maverick.
You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
a warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably...
Hello again. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. Superstition. We can turn the grim desolation into a fun dance club, and thus also help turn this hellhole around. My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Hi again. So, how are things going? And? What happened? Oh man, the crab man you mean? Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church? No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will you trust? A spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
Feels of love! Get down and
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Ja oder nein? Rocking it or dropping it?
What a pity! That's my favourite thing in the world! And she doesn't like it at all!
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
And you can't just evict her?
Look at you, honour man!
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist, coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
Egghead cannot believe what she just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think? Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence.
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter, can't even breathe. Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved. A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about. Their would-be leader is less amused.
What thing?
He senses something is wrong.
Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here.
We don't need drugs to be hardcore.
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock.
What exactly is it you know? I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction and anodic music. Other speaker.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want? And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether. No shit. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true. What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
Or else?
Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revachol.
Because we do! We totally do!
We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
To get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off, too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Whatever you think is right, sir. But please, we were only trying to make a living.
This is it. Judgment time.
Yeah!
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for anodic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance. There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind. A grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Jérôme and all the houses on Main Row. The old cinema is sinking.
What? Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Ed?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
Goodbye, officer.
A young man with, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. Or maybe it's not got volume. Maybe it's Oranese.
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck? Good, good.
The Advent?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? The young man with...
This is hardcore. It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this.
Back to the heavyweight jam. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Here comes the night! We're close. True, hard, full, core! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the...
Hardcore! Ah! Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chick's checker.
Hello again. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I know. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise.
Hi. I don't understand Russian, sorry.
May I ask, what did you tell them? Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise. My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my...
To the cops.
Me? Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different.
Yes, what is it? What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Do I look like someone who has time for side projects at this moment?
If you want her help, maybe you should help her first.
I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter. It's the failure of Fortress Accident.
That's right. If we couldn't get our Welkins to happen, I don't want anything to happen. Ever again.
There's not a trace of irony in her voice. She means it. Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind.
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. No, that's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it.
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an abandoned cubicle.
Okay, but still. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it. In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes. It's impossible to miss.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep. And like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means. Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil. Yes, but she literally started praying for the higher powers when she first saw my Reim Civic.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed.
Hold on. If it's called an off-site copy, then why is it still on-site?
Oh god, not this again. It is not on-site. It is in...
Basement? Sounds like it's technically still on-site.
And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. There's nothing wrong with keeping the backup in the basement. What happened was a freak accident that has nothing to do with how the backup was stored. We clear?
This is clearly a painful topic for her. She must have had to...
Thanks. And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offsite...
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Qualsund. The legendary Qualsund multi-tool. This is Pribar version 2.0 for professionals like you.
The swallow, you mean? What about it? Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No, I don't. Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. If you could bring me the offsite copy, then it would help. A lot. Great. Thanks.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while.
It's military. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo.
There's nothing else. There's some tear, an empty cigarette pack.
Hello again. No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular...
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
Sure. What's on your mind? Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel, like...
Yes. To lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinaise was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans. Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about...
He means that. The boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
Tape computers. They used them for military communications, but also to write... What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
But of course, what else?
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing. in the remains of the edifice. Felled electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building? Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin, gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth. And you felt it before, when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since. The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Felled electrical, R and D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there, which is trying to talk to the city, something you've done before. Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, displays. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. A breeze, like a quiet go to the children of the big sea. The wind rushes away, leaving you where you were.
Officer, are you okay? It looked like we lost you for a second. When you're ready.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Felled electrical, R and... Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs. And then, the beach below the boardwalk. It's...
She's down there.
Okay. Why? Good, good, yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there? So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're good.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails. A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded, and in addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground, and you're 180? Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to, what if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Astral projection. Yeah, because falling from that height seems, well, splat. So don't do that. Just, you know.
Teleportation is not a thing.
Even if it isn't, no one told you.
This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with basic physics here. Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it, like a regular person.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while. The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before.
He's quite proud of himself.
Yes, we have an exit, so let's get going. Time to investigate these passages.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off, the full head of hair matched by an ample moustache and sideburns. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope.
Yes. Looks like some latter-day radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in random neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers. Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been... I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. You mean like Ruby? No. I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man. There it is again. like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost...
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinaise. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
Yes. There won't be time for that once things go down. Matter of fact, I don't think there's time for it now, but... We absolutely cannot skip that appointment. Consider that 100% confirmed. I fear you'll need your gun for this.
His hand rests on his holster. It's not enough. You need a gun in your hand, too.
Okay, why not? Whatever goes down might also affect her. The Union is watching her closely now.
Not closely enough, you suspect. But still, good idea to visit her once more.
You mean Morel? I don't see how cryptozoology and the murder investigation are connected. But the situation in the city will get tense for everyone.
If it gets that tense, the amateur zoologists might not be able to do their job.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Oh.
Yes?
scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
You're stupid. Okay. What man?
Then we're definitely doing it. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar? Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Gewaltsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker. You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lucan and killed as soon as possible.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, eternite.
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action, pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit. Fuck no! Ah, shit! That's right, pig. Shit. Kuno, you already know that slow shit. Kuno thinks you have brain.
Kuno, stop being nice to the...
Ease off, see. Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno can do. What else you want, pigman?
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about it. Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Yes. Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel, and, having eaten its fill, can... At least, that's the intention. Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid...
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism. They'll work, I assure you.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what...
Yes. What? I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both. No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered. Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery. Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. Indeed.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. He has clearly done his math on this.
Yes? All right. What
we would have to discuss? He wants to say. But this, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena, or his friend Gary. He won't just...
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't... Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies...
Be friendly, dear. The detective really likes these critters.
Now the man feels embarrassed. Time to move on, perhaps.
By all means.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to...
You know, to hell with it. Let...
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about? What an interesting question.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
It's the Col de Mama d'Aqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves. What about what? Of course.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. Oh.
Did you take the documents?
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me.
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
They couldn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. And I've told no one but you. You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away. Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
I did. What is this? There was an older woman on the other end.
That is the emergencies. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and...
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know.
Why is she so angry then, if she's so sorry?
I did.
Very good, sire. She will never admit to it, but we can see that she didn't.
What?
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her. was that? Could it be the Col de Mama d'Aqua? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear. There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. But, admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then, there it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species. It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist.
No, I don't hear the Col de Mama d'Aqua.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf. Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Hello again, sir.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? I love you did.
She is memorizing your badge number.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant? referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Oh my.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
That's good to hear, Detective. Police work is rarely pretty, but it sounds like you did what you had to do.
Her bartering mind cannot fathom that you didn't ask anything in return.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing.
This seems serious.
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Misinformation. This is all because we haven't shared information on the lynching yet. See? Already the adversary uses it to their advantage. Don't let him. Hurry up on that probe. The moment you tell me you're finished at the traffic jam, I will gladly tell you the company's side of the story.
She must really want you to look into the drugs. Otherwise, she'd tell you. She was worried for a moment that she's overplayed her hand by not sharing info sooner. Then she settles down, curious to hear more.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't already.
While we appreciate your assistance, ma'am, I'm afraid we can't discuss the specifics of an ongoing investigation with you.
That is only fair. It looks like you may untie this knot yet.
There's something in you that really likes the way she's looking at you just now.
Yes, that's the talk about town. The Hardy Boys, they're called. Find the name rather amusing, honestly. Naturally, Detective. There are lighter topics to gossip about. Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you here? Oh no. What does that bloated hellbat want with my little cinder block town?
It's clear the village has already grown dear to her. Strangely so. Why did she come here?
No, don't tell me. I don't want to know what he has in store for this place. Probably a giant statue of him. Or better yet, his twin brother. Practically the same thing, but makes him seem less like a psychopath. I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez. He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders. He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My paramour certainly did not. Not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like we told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine. A youth center with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him. First, there won't be a youth center. Whatever he has told you, or the residents, it'll be something horrific. Perhaps even worse than a statue. A fishery. I've been speaking with Lillian here. She gave me the idea. The infrastructure is all here, and sadly it's just one of the million things I'll never get round to. I just have to accept that I'll never be the rich candy girl who goes around solving people's problems with money. Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
She is more defensive about it than usual.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded...
Is what you're about to say when a cold streak runs through your heart. Once said, there is no going back, Harry. Yes. What if something happens to her and you've left one question unasked? Sneaky little question escapes your eye.
Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up. You're back. Good. A takeover? If they're taking it...
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot. Like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Everard needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this. They most certainly are not. Canal has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West. It will take more than Canal to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do? Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Officer?
Of course. Your job is to clean up after them. And it looks like there will be a lot of cleaning to... What will I do? Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isla? During our reality lowdown? It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The nations who colonized this Isla called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other.
Each of those expeditions would have been led by an admiral. Sounds like a purge. Like she was purging her political rivals.
There was no precedent for such an undertaking. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both. Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict cycle
called volta doma, or return from.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense. Slowly.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor. There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back. So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open. The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand... But they could not. They were sane and conscious. As islands began to appear on the horizon, there are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Indian archipelago, officer. The freckled...
You've thought it a million times.
A total shift
Molt
in
bé.
human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Elysium. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen. 4 years later, the Queen's Counselor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high. The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, Detective. In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, on Caillou, the Pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae, or they discovered us, all in the rush of the great. But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there, wipe out indigenous populations, gunboat economies. There was no one but the skua, the Liliat Seya. Revolution. It is. Soon it will be...
The gangs will run wild, taking motor...
I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
What happens will happen. The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez, if you handle the situation on the ground.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board, probably a partner.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
That's right, detective. And next time, you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion.
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you or not. Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say.
I have not deceived you. I told you exactly who I was. Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here. Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Canal's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does... Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable. Soon. I do not know precisely. They have... One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich. The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola. The Volta do Mar.
You could use a little of it yourself.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale.
She would die to...
No, detective. No one's as insane as you.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
Another woman gone.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay, its white sails fluttering. You wonder what Everard has to say about this. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets between you. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of eternite. That's why they're two. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then?
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well. Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We are making real progress here.
When someone says they're not being sarcastic, it's usually a good sign that they're being very sarcastic.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
That felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. No, you shouldn't. You're an officer of the law.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people to fuck off.
That means you should do it whenever you feel like someone's disrespecting your authority. That's the spirit. Never forget, the whole world's a wooden house, and you're a goddamn flamethrower.
¿En serio?
Fuck does Kuno care? You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? Pig, that's the past. You and Kuno are now. Let's talk about how you opened the secret door, fucking at Kuno's kingdom. And then what? You fucking there. You fucking Kuno's kingdom.
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno.
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Kuno plays on Snuff Radio, Fox Pigs, live. That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your...
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Yeah, Kuno took the bugs, so what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
It's not Bugtown, it's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit to say.
Stop!
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the night city he mentioned when you asked him where he's been.
Yeah, Locust City. City of rage. City of light.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
Maybe I am.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Kuno made Kuno. Kuno says whatever the fuck he wants. There are no rules here, pig. I fucking say I when I wanna, and Kuno when I wanna. Kuno's free.
This is what he sometimes does.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like...
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno! You'll have to take me away!
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence. She doesn't know whether to be glad because Kuno is finally convinced of the lameness, or more worried because of his continued use of the first person singular. Kuno is Kuno, not I.
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die. The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
He recognizes the name.
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other. even by the standards of the Philippian kings. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of his own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. Stories have it, there were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't not just any nose candy though. We're talking Royal Philippian blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries. A group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers, and the original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the land. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of... People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. With more, those critics might have it wrong though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi, not that he ever did in life either.
Low man, you caught me at an out.
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design. So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her tone. A hidden worry. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid, or...
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the trap's one...
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's...
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast.
He wants to see this tale through as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already.
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
These are for extracted locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking...
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
So, the ship has sailed. Did you see it? I know you did. Tell me, what did it look like? Did it look like a germ? Did it look like a piece of bacteria?
His jaw is clenched, and his quadruple chin is quivering with hatred. This is decades of... You get a sinking feeling. my God, you've been played.
That this is a takeover? That I want a war? God, I hope you also told her about the drug trade. They absolutely hate getting their hands dirty with that. You can kill 1 million people, but if you do something the police doesn't like, well, then you're out of the yacht club. Goodbye, you inhuman fuck. Harry, you made a conscious decision to relay that information to her. You could have kept it for yourself. What was always going to happen? We take the harbour and she fucks off to Ozon, uncorks a bottle of wine, calls her partners, and says they need to distance themselves from this nasty business before the big shit spinner splashes everyone. Only difference is the Union doesn't have to lose 2,000 men to machine gun fire. That it will, Harry, that it will. As to the bad taste, please, you're not a sommelier, you're a cop. You knew something big, and you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been close to power will tell you, inside information is the sweetest thing in the world. It's better than money, it's better than pussy. Money only makes you special for some salesmen. Pussy only makes you special for yourself. Information makes you special for all mankind. It's the ticket to history. Damn right it does, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do.
You know what, Detective? I am going to leave this out of my report, and I suggest you leave it out of yours, too.
Just look at the three of us. The three careless boyaderos. Good times, good times. Now there's a whole lot of work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's get to it. What can I help my best friend and comrade with today? Mega rich light-bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All three of them. Thank you for telling me. I'll see to this immediately. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Come on. Besser als dir. Sti en serio? Venga, dame.
trap stands empty amongst the reeds. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending... Don't answer that.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
Wait. No. That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
No. It's not dangerous. Just depressing. I have a theory. Lindell was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch! What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. This is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave like that. It's the abyss staring back at you. Sorna doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for...
Here! I found it! Hold on. Shh! Just give me a second, I'm almost...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Done! I've got it! I found the location of the anomaly! There. In the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals. Solve it.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bolt 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bolt 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions, nothing intellectually stimulating. Yes, but you like moving things around. Moving things around is calming.
Thanks.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside those walls. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. Oh boy, this is going to be good. It moves like a ghost without creating us. This task is an insult to your mental skills. Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all.
Yes, what is it? Craig, everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah, let's do it. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be... I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary.
Death is scary. You can't just start over again. Or can you?
Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
The lieutenant takes a step back. And then, nothing. Nothing happens as Sona Lokinen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary. She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state...
Damn it! Yeah, nothing happened, let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
No, my hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, but this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more? This can't be it. You should have a listen. All you hear is your own breathing, heavy and hoarse from all the... But there's something else. There has to be. Something. Ghosts. Speak to me. When was the last time this worked?
Well, did you hear anything? Yeah, No.
The lieutenant looks down at the floor, as if to say, maybe the speed freaks can help you with this. Go talk with Andre.
Hi again. So, how are things going? He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies. You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer, gets the...
Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC.
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Yeah, sometimes, when I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles, mysterious. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Yes? What's the deal? What kind of a hitch?
An audio shortfall, you say? Guess what? We got speakers with massive low end. There's a good chance it can do it.
They've got one speaker. One. Uno. Un.
We've got some serious range on this baby. It'll blast those shoes off, believe me. Yes? What's the deal? But do let us know if something...
We're close. True, hard, full, car. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yakokata, the place to be. Yakokata is a hardcore place. Vic, true. Hardcore to the internally coherent.
All cars!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music.
Hardcore! Ah!
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
Under the radar, over the top.
Hello again. My associates?
To the cops.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any...
Winter, slow to let go of Revachol. Flecks some more wet snow from above. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-colored sewage runoff. And to think, it seemed as though it were already spring. The melting snow seeps through your thin clothes. Grandmothers don't let their grandchildren out dressed so lightly in this weather. At least your hair is protected from getting wet. More winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers. The waters turn black, cold city in the shadow of San Martin. A boomed. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These below the old mines. L'Océan Municipal. Revachol's underground cemetery. La Petite Ra braved the underground passageways. Le Royaume, where the Philippian kings were interred, with their doctors and their admirals. Mausoleum. Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums, and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. After rubies, melchiorite, lapis lazuli, plundered from Safre, 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along whose walls mirrors have been placed, so that the mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that's special. Did someone say untold quantities of cocaine? Drop everything immediately. How can it be pure if it's magenta? Snow falls, and there is no answer. Some few Petite Ra return from the shafts. Even fewer find what they're looking for. All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces, and on the weather-worn shacks, where fathers beat their sons after drinking. Near, snow falls into dark water. She prays. That's all. Layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. The storm drainage, hidden bunkers. Rats scuttle. Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You would probably never happen across it. But who knows? The canal you crossed to get here and beyond it. Martinez proper, the district the police forgot to police. Someone is scraping snow off their windshield at the roundabout, in the midst of which a statue of Philip III. Like all monuments, it's also a warning. 6-story ruins on the south side of the roundabout. A fenced-off yard. There's a truck belonging to a logistics company parked next to the gate. Bright light from a building behind the fence. Clean white light coming from the windows of a clean cube-shaped office. The abandoned church, its walls covered with hoarfrost now. One of Elysium, a serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunates on the run from the law, from themselves. Sometimes hide out on near. The remains of a camp on a jagged piece of rock. A tent, old, further out. Then there's ozone, but the snow falls too thick. You cannot see that. The Bay of Revachol, vastness, great depth, over 1,200 meters, and at the farthest reaches of the raised motorway, 881, separating Martinez from Jamrock. Vehicles whoosh past one another day and night, while those who reside was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients of the old military hospital. The pox is complete. Heavy drug users do a line of motor garage around you. The snow continues to fall. To the west, the ocean. The stairs descend. Snow, all of the... A chill comes over you, crawling.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks. Yes, what is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace, and then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace. You mean the speed freaks? Of course. The Speed Freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence. Sure. Let me know how it goes. Thanks, officer.
Es un pa' aquí pa' allá, tías, joder. Joder, venga, dame.
Hi again. So, how are things going? Yes? What's the deal? We are grateful, Copman. You're a true ally and the augury of a new era of Nordic dance music. That's fine. We can manage. And you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right? Fine. We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving. Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too. Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, detective? The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, detective. It would be good for the sign. Noid's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
How about something simple, like the club?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave. Yakukata! Yakukata! The place to be!
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, Abe. Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the nega! No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the seed. The amnesia.
Hola Claudia, ¿qué tal?
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, amnesia.
Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys.
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next.
You have? Well, what's the name?
Elysium, claro que sí. Sí, pues después me pasaré. Me gusta descubrir nuevos canales.
Elysium.
¿Qué haces? ¿Streaming también o vídeos?
But Disco Elysium, isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone.
The past is the future, but the future is dead.
¿De videojuegos o de más cosas?
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be. And sure.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Ah, pues qué ganas de verlo. Después me paso. No creo que tarde mucho en acabar de jugar a esto. Ya llevo unas cuantas horas. Y bienvenida a mi canal. Si te gusta te puedes suscribir o como quieras.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate them.
I'm dancing.
Muy bien, ¿y qué estás jugando ahora?
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
Yes, my man.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with audio waves thump against your ribcage? The speaker setup makes everything sound much better, but there's a noticeable lack of something.
It's to express my individuality.
¿Y cuál te compraste? ¿Ahora que estás jugando?
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
All because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together. I want to show... Not 20. Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway...
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music.
But just imagine the moves you could pull.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of them.
Yo estoy terminando este disco Elysium ahora, pero antes estaba jugando a Cyberpunk y me gustó mucho. Y después cuando termine este jugaré a Nier, seguramente. Ah, pues mira, coincidimos con el Cyberpunk, muy bueno, a mí me gustó mucho. ¿Estás jugando en Play 4 o Play 5? Porque en la Play 4 decían que tenía muchos problemas, pero los últimos parches la verdad es que lo han solucionado todo bastante. Tiene algún problemilla todavía, pero me ha gustado mucho.
Salvation.
Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it?
Pues creo que ayer pusieron un parche nuevo, el 1.22.
What? What did you say? I can't hear you! The music is too loud! Oh, the project! It's not going well! There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers. He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and yekokata!
Ya, yo tampoco la tengo. Muy poca gente la tiene. Bueno, muy poca, ya han vendido unos cuantos millones, pero... Y todavía me esperará un tiempo a tenerla.
Thanks! Let me know how it goes!
We're close. True, hard, full car. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All car! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime.
Hardcore! Ah!
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the
She's whistling a melody, her trusty contact.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. And no, it's got nothing to do with contact mic. I really wanted to say, thanks for getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as they are. Sure,
Sí, lo veo por tu nick. Tienes el icono es de Cyberpunk. Ahora cuando termine me pasaré un poco. Me pasaré por él. Es que desde aquí estoy mirando por el móvil y no me deja ir ahora.
Sure. You helped us out. I can repay the favor. What do you want to know? What do you mean? Oh, that. He's the party boy. Anodic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offense if you like rock music though. Rock music's called by...
Pachu, pachu, swish. Your credentials as the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show her you're hip with the times, Gramps.
Anyway, even if you don't have vocals, you still need someone to say something every now and then, right? To urge... He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything...
I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance, like sneezing makes you sneeze, or... Anyway.
Actually, we don't know where he's from. One time we were out partying somewhere in backwater Forberg. Or maybe even... Egg was yelling along to some jam someone was spinning, all night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way... It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the fort. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked why he came with... People are sweet.
You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes her to go silent. You wish you'd been there.
Who do you want to know about? Sure,